Good Thursday evening, June 12th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Moses Lake pedestrian killed by oncoming interstate traffic on Sunday has now been identified. The Washington State Department of Commerce has just dedicated a $250,000 grant to support entrepreneurs within Okanogan County. Temperatures will cool back to normal on Friday with warmer weather in the forecast for Father's Day weekend. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. For nearly 2 weeks, Travis Decker has been a fugitive, sought first for the abduction and then for the murders of his 3 daughters, Olivia, age 5, Evelyn, age 8, and Peyton, age 9. But just 9 months ago, he was in a Chelan County courtroom as a divorced father, asking a judge not to limit his visitations with his children. The girls' mother, Whitney Decker, was in court with her lawyer to modify a parenting agreement because Travis was homeless and suffering from mental illness. But there was no suspicion at the time that he might harm the children, who were found dead June 2nd near a campsite west of Leavenworth. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, obtained audio from the family court hearing held on September 27th. In that recording, Travis Decker discusses his struggles after leaving the military and his wish to spend time with his daughters in the great outdoors.
When I was separated from my original active duty, I came out into the civilian world and tried to figure out a way that I could live as a civilian. I didn't have family, I didn't have friends, I didn't have any support, especially coming to a state where I didn't have anybody to lean on or a couch to go sleep on. So when we initially went through our divorce, I went and put the uniform back on full time so I could support myself and support the family through the first big transition of Dad not being at home anymore. Once I fulfilled my year obligation, I talked with my chain of command and stepped down from full active duty and transitioned into, my contract ended in December of 2023. Starting over is hard, and I'm starting at the bottom, and I've got a long way to go, but I don't think that it should restrict the time that I get to be around my daughters.
We're not trying to take these children away from Mr. Decker. We respect and appreciate the fact that he loves his kids. That's obvious by the fact that he's attending their events. It's just important that they have this consistency in their lives.
Since I have been gone, every time I've had the girls, we have been in campsites in national forests and paid campsites that have campers. We've never done anything that was unsafe or anything I wouldn't want to put myself in. I understand that my current position when I'm by myself isn't ideal, but my daughters aren't a part of that. I only get to see them over the weekends, and camping is something that the 4 of us have done since the 3 of them were in diapers. I've never done anything I feel like that puts them in any sort of a risk that most families in the state of Washington, every campsite we've been to in the last month have been almost completely booked out or sold out because everybody's out this time of year. When I stepped away from the National Guard, I was making $86,000 a year, and now I make, I think it's like $38,000 a year. When you start over from zero and you don't have help in a hand to get you through it, makes it a little more difficult.
A lot of things I need to consider when I'm looking at the best interest of the children is stability, and that's not stable. It's not stable having them in different places every time you have them.
I understand that.
To the court, regardless of whether it's in an RV, whether it's in a tent, whether it's in Airbnb, whether it's at a hotel, a motel, that's not stable, and that's always a concern for the court.
Multiple police agencies, including the U.S. Marshals and Border Patrol, have been searching for Travis Decker since the killings of his children. He's been charged with 3 counts each of murder and kidnapping for allegedly suffocating the girls to death. Decker is an experienced outdoorsman and is thought to have retreated into the mountains of western Chelan County. If you have information about the case, call 1-800-336-0102 or visit usmarshals.gov/tips. The Moses Lake pedestrian killed by oncoming interstate traffic on Sunday has been identified. The Washington State Patrol says 56-year-old Randy M. Rapp walked onto the roadway of I-90 at the milepost 175 exit and was fatally struck by an eastbound Subaru Forester. Rapp was pronounced dead at the scene. The 2 occupants of the Forester, both from Everett, were not injured in the crash. The cause of that collision remains under investigation. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center has secured $5.1 million in state funding for its upcoming renovation project. The museum expansion plan includes modernizing its 2 historic buildings, enhancing visitor flow, and adding new interactive exhibits. The funding came from a combination of programs, including a Heritage Capitals Projects grant, which supports community history facilities. The Wenatchee City Council will vote tonight on whether or not to donate $2 million to the project. That amount was already reserved in the city budget for 2025. An appeals court on Tuesday upheld dismissal of the Grant County PUD's lawsuit against the Chelan County PUD. The 2 public utilities hold an agreement dating back to 1955 when the construction of Wanapum Dam reduced the amount of power the Chelan PUD could generate from Rock Island Dam. The Chelan County PUD had filed suit in May of 2020 after Grant provided undifferentiated power to Chelan for its power losses rather than hydropower. Chelan argued the 1955 contract required losses be repaid strictly in hydropower rather than electricity from other sources. A Kittitas County judge ruled in the Chelan County PUD's favor, and the Court of Appeals agreed this week, saying hydropower is the only legitimate source for repaying power losses. When we come back, highway crews have begun digging and building embankments for the realignment of McNeil Canyon Road in Douglas County. And in a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing yesterday, Washington Senator Patty Murray grilled the Forest Service's top leader over its readiness to combat wildfires. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Highway crews have begun digging and building embankments for the realignment of McNeil Canyon Road in Douglas County. The steep road connects Highway 97 to rural routes on the Waterville Plateau. The $4.2 million project will reroute a section of McNeil Canyon Road, widen the shoulders, and install new guardrails. The road proved so hazardous to large load trucks that county commissioners in 2023 began requiring special permits for freight drivers to travel on it. The route remains open to normal traffic for now, but that will eventually give way to alternating one-way traffic as construction ramps up this summer. The work should be complete by November. The Washington State Department of Commerce has just dedicated a $250,000 grant to support entrepreneurs within Okanogan County. The money will help guide and support business owners with workshops and on-site technical assistance. The grant awarded to Okanogan County is only a sliver of $2.6 million in federal community development block grants recently issued by the department. Though the program is currently faced with federal fund reductions, the department says it still anticipates having another $13 million to distribute later this year. The North Central Educational Service District announced the recipients of the Regional School Employee and Teacher of the Year awards this week. Lake Chelan School District's Madonna Carlton earned Teacher of the Year honors for her dedication to and continued advocacy of her special education students. Robin Hansen, who is the head cook at the secondary school in the Manson School District, is this year's School Employee of the Year for her commitment to scratch-cooked meals and commitment to student health. Both Carlton and Hansen advanced for statewide consideration, with honorees announced by the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction in September. Back in February, Wenatchee was the site of protests over the Trump administration's efforts to reduce staffing in the U.S. Forest Service. Nearly 7,500 employees have been cut from the agency either by firings or pressure to resign ahead of future layoffs, including at least 500 Forest Service employees in the Pacific Northwest. In a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing Wednesday, Washington Senator Patty Murray grilled the Forest Service's top leader over its readiness to combat wildfires.
So in terms of a mass firing, we did not have a mass firing.
I'm talking about across the board, pushing people out, early retirement,
Right, so
doing all the things.
Right, I just want to clarify. So we did have 2 rounds of that deferred resignation program, and that was about 4,200 people that left voluntarily. And then we had another...
Because they didn't know what was coming.
They didn't know what was coming. I don't disagree with you. And we had another 600 that took voluntary early retirement. So there was no... In terms of there were incentives for people to leave. Now, in terms of we did not know who was going to leave. Obviously, it was a voluntary process. So what we've done is when they did leave, we've been moving people to, we call that lateral movement, and we've been doing that across the agency. And we've moved probably close to 600 or 700 people to fill those critical vacancies. When it comes to the fire piece specifically, we had, I think I mentioned earlier, about 1,400 people that had fire quals that did leave. And we have reached out to those folks to secure their services this fire season to see if they want to come back on a voluntary basis to function on their team.
It just seems really ridiculous that it was done this way, which was my question, actually. Was there an analysis done before this was all done to realize the impacts of these people that you're now trying to find and bring back?
Senator, so we couldn't do the analysis because we didn't know who was going to leave because it was voluntary, right?
Well,
we didn't go handpick who was going to leave.
I want to get on, but I just said the stakes are life and death here, and this is really raises serious alarms about this agency being ready for this critical fire season.
Coming up next, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Winds will continue tonight with calmer and cooler weather on tap for Friday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets. Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
It's time now for Pause for Pets with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight's segment features a 9-year-old tabby cat who likes curling up for a nap and observing the world from a windowsill. Meet Sparrow.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm the marketing coordinator here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Today, our pet of the week is Sparrow. Sparrow is a male 9-year-old tabby. He originally came to us with his brother, and his brother was the more confident one of the two, and so that helped him settle into the shelter environment. But then soon after, his brother was adopted, so now it's Sparrow's turn to find his forever home. Sparrow is an extremely affectionate guy. He loves his head scratches, as you can see. Oh yes, he loves cat grass. He loves pets. He likes to play sometimes. Ooh, there you go, honey. Monk. He's a very easygoing, chill guy. He already has a history of living at homes with other cats. I don't believe we have info on how he is with dogs in home, but if you do it nice and slow, I'm sure that they can learn to love each other. Sparrow likes to spend a lot of time just hanging out. He'd be just a great lap cat. He's very easy to get along with. Overall, I think Sparrow would make an amazing family cat. Since Sparrow has had his brother been adopted, he was really shy and fearful because of that, because he's 9. He grew up with his brother his whole life. So it took him a while to decompress and get used to just all the sights and people and noises that the shelter has, but he's really settled in really well. He has great kennel presence, so people who come by, he's always ready and happy to say hello. He's very eager to greet everybody and give them kisses and hugs. Also, Sparrow's adoption fee has been covered by a donor, so he really is truly take-home ready. If you want to meet Sparrow, we are closed on Wednesdays, but you can come by Thursday through Tuesday. We are open 12:30 to 6 p.m. Sparrow would love to meet you and probably get in some pets while he's at it.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Thursday. Much cooler temperatures out there, even though, yeah, those winds picked up once again. And boy, they really picked up last night and just continued into today. Here's our tower cam shot. It's our Omi Gardens tower cam shot, looking back up the Wenatchee area. And you can see some clouds, high cloudiness, and some mid-level clouds out there today. And as I mentioned, breezy conditions and much cooler temperatures. We'll talk about why we're seeing that coming up in a bit, but those gusty winds, they're expected to continue this evening. We do have a red flag warning that will expire at 8 p.m. tonight, but 25 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts are not out of the question for Wenatchee, Chelan, a little bit less in Omak, and also Moses Lake. You could see some pretty hefty wind gusts yourself, between 30 and 35 miles an hour tonight, and then things will mellow out. Today, unofficial high temperature 84. That's still 7 87 degrees above where we should be, but way below where we've been the past 3 days. 94, our record high. That was set back in 1974. Another very warm overnight. 64 our low, 10 degrees above our normal low of 54 degrees for this time of year. 43 our record low, and that was set in 2001. We have had no precipitation. I'll have to look and see when our last measurable rain was, but we're now almost an inch and a half below where we should be for this time of year, and things are already awfully dry out there. 5:04 sunrise and 8:58 our sunset tonight. Tomorrow's temperatures 83 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 82 for Quincy, and then lots of 80s. Ellensburg, Wenatchee, Entiat, and Chelan, a touch warmer in Omak, and then we're talking mainly 70s in our upper elevations tomorrow. Lake Wenatchee, Leavenworth, and Cashmere, mid to upper 70s for high temperatures. Tonight we expect mostly clear skies. Still, this area of high pressure, it's been around for about a week or so. That's going to keep our skies mostly clear. Our lows tonight will be back to where we should see them, in the low to mid 50s. So by all means, open up those windows tonight. For Friday, mostly sunny skies, maybe a little bit of a breeze, nothing like we saw today or last night. High temperatures back to where we should see them at around 80 degrees as we end our work week. And then for the Father's Day weekend, as we get you into Saturday, things look just fantastic. Our area of high pressure will bring some warmer southerly air our way. We'll see temperatures in the low to mid 80s to kick off our weekend Saturday afternoon, and we aren't expecting hardly anything as far as wind. Father's Day, even nicer, sunny and a little bit warmer. Nothing but blue skies for Washington on Sunday, with high temperatures into the mid 80s. So boy, golfing, boating, maybe a picnic or a barbecue outside should be beautiful for Sunday. And then Monday, we have wind in our forecast. It will be sunny and warm. This will probably be our warmest day, with high temperatures Monday in the mid to upper 80s. But once again, we do expect some breezy conditions Monday afternoon. By Tuesday, an area of low pressure is going to push some clouds our way, and even some showers in extreme northwest Washington. Still warm here in eastern Washington, though. Our high temperatures Tuesday, a lot like Monday, in the mid to upper 80s. And then by the end of our forecast on Wednesday, once again, get ready for a windy one. Much cooler, too, as we see more of a northwesterly flow of air. Breezy, as I mentioned, Wednesday, with high temperatures dropping down to around 80 degrees. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, 53 overnight tonight. Nice one tomorrow, a little breezy at times, 80 for our high temperature. Saturday and Sunday look just fantastic. Sunshine both days, 83 Saturday, 86 your high on Sunday. And we're going to stay with lots of sunshine, 87 Monday, 86 your high Tuesday, and then cooler and breezy on Wednesday, with high temperatures then right around 80 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
And a good Thursday to you. The Mariners gone out to a 2-0 lead early on Arizona, but it all fell apart in the 6th inning as the Diamondbacks completed a 3-game sweep of Seattle Wednesday. Jorge Polanco put Seattle on the board in the first, and Donovan Solano hit his first home run of the season to put the M's up 2-0. But then came the 6th, and former Mariner Eugenio Suarez, in that 6th inning with the bases loaded, he unloaded them with his 3rd grand slam of this season, and Arizona went on for the 5-2 win.
Suarez hits a high fly ball way back, and it's gone for another Geno grand grand slam. That's his third this year. We know it's Gino, and it's 4-2. Pavin hits one high in the air. It's going to back up more all the way to the wall, and it's gone. 2-2. Got him. Diamondbacks get the 3-game sweep.
Seattle has the day off today and returns home to host Cleveland tomorrow night at 7:10. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Things look good for the Apple Sox last night as Wenatchee built a 6-0 lead, but Kamloops would have the last say, however, winning it in 10 innings, 9-6. Wenatchee scored 6 runs in the second, bringing 10 men to the plate, highlighted by Henry Henkel's 2-run single and Cade Martinez's 2-run double, but the Northpaws kept pecking away, and from there they scored 6 runs over the next 7 innings to tie it with a run in the 9th and then scored 3 in the 10th for the win. I was with Brandon Schmitten here on the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
Ooh,
this is a hard hit ball. That's going to bounce and almost get away from the right fielder. Rounding third, heading for home, and scoring on the RBI single is Noah Fields. Apple Sox up 1-0. Well, minor leagues, did they go? They didn't go to all electric.
I don't
balls
believe
and strikes. Pitch here is ball 4, so another run's going to score for the Apple Sox. Quincy Marlboro give him a RBI on the bases loaded walk. 3-2 pitch again on the way to Henry Hinkle, and it's hitting the center field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score for sure. Rounding third, they're going to try to score 2. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. No throw home. 2-run score. Hinkle puts the Apple Sox up 4-0 so far, and responsible for those behind him on the base pass. This pitch swung on, hit hard to the left field, and that's going to go over the left fielder's head. Rounding third and heading for home is Marlboro, right behind him and holding at third base. No, they're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. The slide is safe. 2-2 count to Hall. Runner at third, and the pitch swung on, and this is going to drive in the first run for Kamloops on a base hit to right field, and Brady Bean misplays it again out there. Pitch on the way. Swung on and grounded to the left side, and that's going to go off the third baseman's glove and going to go trickling into foul territory. Everybody's running. Everybody's scoring here. Here comes the throw home, and it is going to be in time.
Got him.
They got him. So 2 runs score. The third attempt is thrown out.
If I was
KP is even with the bag at third right now. And the pitch by Young swung on a fly ball to center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. 1 run is going to score, and they're going to try to score 2. The throw from the center fielder is cut off by the first baseman at the mound. So 2 runs are in on the 2-run single by Drew Schmidt, reaching down for the first pitch that came to him and drilling it right to center field. It is a 1-run ball game. Joe Skyleman in relief trying to shut it down here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and a fly ball to right field. That's going to get out for a base hit. Runner from third is going to try to score. The throw is dropped by the cutoff man, and the run will score. The game is tied at 6-6. It was struck out 3 times. This pitch swung on, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's going to score 2 runs, and the ball gets past the center fielder momentarily, and Kamloops is up 2 runs here in the 10th inning, 8-6.
We first started out the game, they were swinging at a ton of pitches and swinging and striking out maybe, but
another run's going to score on an RBI. Brady Bean whips that ball home, but it was up the third baseline. And so now 3 runs are in here in the 10th. Our production assistant, my lovely and talented, much better half, Marion Grandstrom. Thank you, Marion. I know she's would love to sharp things in her eyes right now. Pitch here swung on, and this could be the final out. It's a sky-high fly ball to center field, and that'll be it. And how about Kamloops? They come all the way back here and knock out the Apple Sox by a final of 9-6. Camden Bates had 2 hits in his debut for the Apple Sox, while Cade Martinez drove in 3 runs. The two teams play the rubber match of that 3-game set tonight at 6:35. Bellingham moved into first place all alone in the WCL's North Division with an 8-5 win over Bend. Victoria hammered Nanaimo 14-5. Kelowna edged Edmonton 3-2. Portland improved to 11-0 with a 9-4 win over Walla Walla. Corvallis earned its second win of the season, downing Springfield 13-3. Ridgefield took down Yakima Valley 5-1. Marion Berries beat Cowlitz 4-2, and in a non-league game, Port Angeles beat the Seattle Gumbaroos 7-2. NCWLIFE will be out at the ballpark again tomorrow night for game 1 of a 3-game set with Port Angeles in town at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Join me and Brandon Schmitten for the call, starting with our pregame at 6:30 here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's a check of sports news. Have a happy Thursday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.